Coming up next on Everyday Angels, Maria Constantino visits Jorge Marc Children's House, where families facing difficult times receive a unique kind of support. Pari Livermore takes us to St. Vincent DePaul Society, where the homeless empower themselves by helping others. Michele Kirsch finds out how attitude determines altitude for foster children and teens at Max Children and Family Services. Terry Hove brings us courtside to learn about a special program that benefits underserved youth. It's all coming up now on Everyday Angels.
I'm Maria Constantino. I do this because I meet the people in our community who are the true angels among us.
I'm Michele Kirsch, and the angels I've met and interviewed truly are making a difference in the lives of so many.
Everyday Angels help so many people in the Bay Area. They fill me with hope. And I know once you hear their stories, you're going to feel the same way.
Nothing is harder than dealing with the death of someone you love. And when that someone is your child, it is simply devastating. Jorge Marc Children's House makes those difficult times just a little bit easier. I'm Maria Constantino at the first model home in the country where families get that special care in the time of unmatched grief.
For me, I've never lost the sense of magic when I come up the driveway, like, oh my gosh, look what is really here. It was a long time from the initial conversation to actually opening our doors. 8 years went by.
I mean, there are other facilities in the United States that provide pediatric end-of-life care. There are other places that provide respite care. Some places provide day care for medically fragile children. But as far as I'm aware, we're the only place that is freestanding, providing the whole range of services to these families and not just one aspect of it.
And as Barbara said, there are others that are part of a hospital setting or provide services, in people's homes. But this model of care, under one roof is pretty unique.
When I tell people that I've volunteered at Jorge Marc and it's a child's hospice and respite care facility, immediately they think, oh, that's so sad, that's so depressing. But it's not the case, because if you walk in the door, as you have, that you see that it's set up like a home. There's a playroom, a communal kitchen, dining area. The bedrooms are all painted with different themes. It's like a home. And then when I'm volunteering, you're kind of right into the thick of things immediately, playing with kids, just keeping them active, keeping them happy, and it's pretty much playing with kids. So you're dealing with the day-to-day items of that. You're not thinking of an overall sad theme, which it's not. It's just business as usual with the kids.
Well, Jorge Marc needs, first of all, it needs support in a general sense. Whatever resources people have that they could help us with, financial, or their prayers, or their general support in terms of letting us know they appreciate what we do, that's really helpful. A second kind of support is we love to have volunteers, people who are willing to come and with their hearts and their hands really help with the work we do. And the third thing they can do is actually thinking about starting a facility like us in their own communities.
If I had $1 million, I would give it to Jorge Marc right now. I would never refuse or turn down an invitation to boast about how wonderful this place is. It's just like, for a sick child, it's like, I would say like heaven on earth. And for a child to be able to spend their last days, last hours, last minutes here, I think is a very special thing. I found out that Seven was sick while I was undergoing an ultrasound. I was 5 months pregnant, and prior to hearing from the doctor that Seven was ill, I was extremely ecstatic about being pregnant. But as soon as he revealed to me that he could not locate the other side of Seven's heart, my heart dropped into my stomach, and I experienced thousands of emotions in varying degrees all at once. I felt like I was in a nightmare, and my world was just shattered.
In a word, it was suffocating. to hear about the news of my son, and then also being in a condition where I was in a car driving to Sacramento and could not immediately turn around. So I had my wife calling from San Francisco, and I'm on my way to Sacramento. So it was a very suffocating experience emotionally, and I felt trapped.
What would you tell other parents facing similar situations?
I would just say, what can I say? It's a very personal situation, but what I can give to them is that I'm here, I'm still here. And Jorge Marc has helped me survive this far. Don't lose hope, because there's something out there that can give you the same serenity that I have. Every time I come here, I feel a sense of peace. After my son died, death is just a very puzzling thing. Nobody can really say they understand it. However, when my son died here, I immediately looked up into the air just to see, if I could see anything, right? As funny as that may sound. But every time I come back here, I feel him in the air. And it's a place where I can come. The doors are always open, we're invited back for different things. Every time I come here, I feel joy.
Well, at Jorge Marc Children's House, we have 3 goals that I'm committed to. The first is to make us economically solid so that our kind of care will be available to children in our community in perpetuity. And the second goal is to spread the gospel, so to speak, that other communities like us who have these children in need would be able to create facilities that would provide care along our model of palliative care. And our third goal really is to change the way the country thinks about the needs of very sick children, particularly how we finance their care.
At Jorge Marc Children's House, families don't have to say goodbye to their children. They can return to a safe haven where they can stay connected and keep their precious memories alive.
For more information about Jorge Marc Children's House, please visit www.georgemarc.org. Stay with us when Everyday Angels returns. Pari Livermore takes us to St. Vincent DePaul Society.
Do you ever wonder how someone who's hungry and homeless gets back on their feet? I'm Pari Livermore at the St. Vincent DePaul Society, where they know there's no such thing as hopelessness. It takes a little love and a little peace to change lives every day.
The people that are served here are just like them in a way, and that everybody is really close to the edge these days with finances the way that they are, a medical disaster, loss of a job, any kind of mental health issue. There are a lot of things that can propel a person or a family into homelessness. St. Vincent de Paul is the patron saint of the society, and he was just a wonderful person who really believed that poor people embody the Spirit of God.
What is your mission?
Our mission is to serve the poor and to empower people who are in difficult situations to rise above them and move on with their lives.
Suzanne, can you tell us how you feel about how St. Vincent de Paul helped you?
Well, I came to St. Vincent de Paul as a client. I was homeless and I was unemployed, and I ate here. And the dining room, the free dining room in San Rafael, kept me alive while I was living outside.
And you actually met someone very special here.
Yes, my husband and I met in the dining room, and it was after I met my husband that I really got the will to turn my life around. And so he began working in the dining room, and I had a job, and I was pregnant, and we were living outside. It was a pretty hard time. But the people at St. Vincent de Paul really helped us during that time. And in fact, there are 8 low-income apartments here in the building at St. Vincent de Paul, and that's where we moved to when we got off the street just 3 weeks before my son was born. I run the assistance desk, which is our assistance for homeless people. We have people that come up every day to our office and ask for assistance with transportation, housing, prescriptions, and things like that. And that's for people who don't have a home, because the basis of the society is the home visit, as we talked about with the founder. where people go out and give people rental assistance and other financial aid who have housing. Well, our hope for everyone is that they can find and get into housing. Not all of our clients are homeless, but Cup and Jim did happen to be when they first came here. So they came to the dining room and were eating here, and then when they were able to get into housing, we helped them with a rental deposit. That would be through coming to our assistance desk, which is open upstairs from the dining room Monday through Friday. After they got into housing, we got them a home visit. I actually helped them move into their apartment, and that was really a wonderful thing to be able to help them with. And so people who still need assistance after they get a place to live, which is very common, can call our office and ask for assistance with rent, PG&E, utilities, food, and things like that.
We're here at a home visit with Susan and Mike to visit Kapbach Pham and her husband Jim.
Hi, Cup. I'm Susan from St. Vincent's.
My name is Cup.
Nice to meet you. This is Mike.
Nice to meet you.
May we come in?
Yeah, come on.
Thank you.
Inside.
We brought you some groceries. When we spoke with you on the phone, you said that you were in need of some food. So may I just leave them right here on the table?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Jim?
Thank you very
Nice
much.
to meet you.
Thank you. Jim?
My husband.
Yes. Mike?
Mike.
Very pleased to meet you.
I have got a check here for you, and here it is. We discussed it was $100, and I made it out to your landlord, and there it is.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Oh, you're welcome.
How does Cup give back?
Cup is here as often as we let her to volunteer. She's wonderful, and she serves up soup down in the dining room. She is great with the diners, and especially with the children who come in. She's just wonderful to have around.
How can someone get involved with St. Vincent de Paul Society?
Well, the number one answer to that is send us a check every time you get one of our appeals in the mail, because we don't get any foundation or government funding for the most part. We get some small family foundations donating, but most of our support comes from people just like you who send in a few checks a year, and that's what keeps us going. The other thing is just the awareness in the community that people are in need right here in Marin. It doesn't seem very likely, but here we are, and we've been here for 26 years serving people who are in crisis. I really feel blessed being able to be here and work here and give back to other people who are in the situation that I was. They're in it now, and to be able to sit with them and help them in the way that people did for me then. So I feel a great sense of gratitude and hope from being here every day and from knowing the kind of change that can happen in people's lives.
The St. Vincent de Paul Society helps the homeless by giving them renewed hope and faith in themselves, because they know the best way to help people is to empower them to help themselves.
To find out more about St. Vincent de Paul Society, please visit www.vinnies.org or call 415-454-3303. Coming up next on Everyday Angels, Michele Kirsch meets a wonderful woman who gives foster children and teens the tools they need to be successful adults.
Young adults in foster care often do not receive the support and stability they need to succeed as adults. I'm Michele Kirsch with Max Family Services, where we'll meet the wonderful people who are making a difference in young people's lives.
And the children are supported. These kids come to us most of the time through no fault of their own. They enter the foster care system. And when they come to us, they're scared. They have fear. And we all know that fear is false expectations appearing real. And our young people are going through that. So we have a hard job of trying to get them to feel comfortable, to trust us. And they don't know us, any of us. Here you have a family maybe of 2 or 3. You come into a group home. You have 2 or 3 people that you don't know at any given time of the day. But yet you're to abide by the rules. And that's very difficult for these young people.
Why did you start Max Children and Family Services?
When my sister died, I became foster parent to my 2 oldest nieces. And knowing a lot of what they were going through and watching the struggles and the difficult times that they had, it ignited something within me that has really kept me committed all these years to helping as many young people as I can.
What does a young adult need to become a successful member of the community?
Well, I see 5 main ingredients, one being social skills, education, employment, vocational training, emancipation, and the 5th one being permanent connection. Every child needs someone who loves, supports, and encourages them.
First, let me just stress this house and what this house has done for me. Being here has helped me become a better person. It has, taught me living situations like learning how to cook for myself. Things like that is not easy when you are come from a group home type situation and have to, somebody's cooking for you, telling you what to do all the time, to being in this, which is very independent. But as far as my, decision to join the military, I feel like it will give me the basis for life skills, period. And, I'm basically getting back what I feel like Uncle Sam owes me, so, yeah.
Well, the rooms that we have 9 bedrooms here, and the rooms that have bathrooms in them, 2 girls share that. But the other rooms are individual, so each girl would have their own room. And so I'd like to have Christina take you on a tour of her room if you'd like.
This is Christina's room. She's one of the residents here. She's been with us for about 3 months now. She's 18 years old, and I check her room regularly just to make sure it's clean, and she does her chores. And that's basically it.
This is a great room.
Oh, thanks.
What do you think about the program here?
Oh, it's a really good program. It gives you a lot of opportunities to succeed and to build skills for when you emancipate out of the foster care system, so you're ready to move on with your life.
How do you compare this program to the program you were in before?
I think this program is better just because it gives you more opportunities, like I said earlier, and it teaches you about life skills, about like paying your rent and getting to work on time and responsibilities that you need for everyday life.
And are you in school right now?
Yes, I am in school. I'm a senior in high school.
That's terrific. And this is your mentor?
Yeah, my mentor Leah. I love her. She's so cool. I don't know, she helps everybody here, and she makes you feel really comfortable. And she's always there when you need to talk to her, so it's really good.
So do you think having a mentor makes the difference?
Oh, it really does. Because sometimes you can get confused or you're sad sometimes, so you need someone there to talk to.
What exactly